What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back. It's been a hot minute. We are here with podcast episode number 6.
Six or seven. One of them.
Yeah, 6 or something. No.
6 or something.
6.5. Real quick about the last episode. I did upload it late. That was my fault. I was having some issues with YouTube and all, and then I decided to just take a break from YouTubing for a little while. I wasn't feeling well. Rona! But nah, it wasn't Rona.
It was definitely Rona. We're just going to blame it on that.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what it was.
It doesn't
just
matter.
Rona.
It was Rona. And then,
Rona.
I was like, I'll just take the rest of the week and just try to chill and do whatever. But, just throwing it out there real quick. The audio version is always uploaded immediately because it takes me like a second to upload that one. The video, my computer sucks, so the whole video file takes like all night. So sometimes I wait till the weekend so I can have, a long time to upload it. But anyways, the audio is always up first. Check Spotify, Google Podcasts, all that in the description below, or you can go straight to our Anchor page, which is also in the description, as well as our sources. And I'm back with Mr. Adam. Adam, how you feeling about World War III?
I'm feeling pretty good about it. I mean, let's go draft.
That's what,
I don't know what else to say about it.
My friend texted me. He's like, just hypothetically, what are the odds of them doing a draft? I'm like 0%. I'm like, we're not in the war right now.
Does he not know who this is between?
Yeah. I mean, they're invading Ukraine. You know this. And I'm like, anyways, we're a couple of
head hurts.
I'm like, we're a couple of old effers. We're not going to be drafted. They don't want us. We're used up. But
Pretty much, well, they might draft a couple. I don't know.
Yeah,
that cutoff might be my age.
Yeah, I really don't know about the cutoff, but I know I'm old.
But that's also insinuating that they're going to actually, have a draft.
Yeah, it's all hypothetical, of course. But yeah, I'm like, dude, relax. We're not being drafted.
This is also what you call it. We're talking about here, Joe Biden.
Yeah, he's I don't know. He's got sanction on him. But yeah, speaking of sanctions, that'll lead us to our first article. I've gotten better at this. Not perfect, but better. So Joe Biden, former vice president, gave a speech of sorts, kind of talking about he wanted to sleep first. Everyone's like, "Where the hell is he?" Trump gave a speech right away. He went right on Fox News, just saying, "I just want everybody to know this wouldn't be happening if I was president." And Joe Biden was apparently sleeping, I guess, but he woke up and he gave a speech saying long story short, he's going to put sanctions on Russia.
Good.
Yeah.
That's going to totally stop them from bombing Ukraine.
I'm sure Putin caught him by surprise. He was like, whoa, I can't believe they're doing this.
Oh, sanctions. That's exactly what we expected.
Everyone's acting like it's the stop all. They're like, he did sanctions. What else is he going to do? I'm like, you do realize Putin knew that he was going to do that. Like, he prepared for this.
It's so funny that they don't realize that, that there's a bigger game at play here, and the people that are playing it know exactly what's going to happen.
Yeah. I'm like, he knew it was going to happen. It's not really going to do anything. So where was the clip I wanted to play? This is the one I wanted to talk about right here. I'll just play the clip first, and we'll talk about it.
You said in recent weeks that big nations cannot bluff when it comes to something like this. You recently said that the idea of personally sanctioning President Putin was on the table. Is that a step that you're prepared to take? And if not...
It's not a bluff, it's on the table.
Sanctioning President Putin?
Yes.
Why not sanction him today, sir?
Mr. President?
Why not sanction him today, sir?
Mr. President, if I can...
So he just skips, because that was the one thing saying, like, why didn't he sanction Putin?
One.
Yeah, why didn't he sanction Putin? And I don't know why. Everyone always says, I'm just saying, if this was Trump going on right now, not sanctioning Putin. Remember, Biden also gave him the okay for their pipeline, but not for ours. And I'm trying to figure out where this would be, or how they're getting the whole Trump's buddy with Putin. Because that's always the argument. Like, it'd be way worse with Trump because he's buddies with Putin.
Yeah, sure.
Yep. I don't know where they're getting that from. Biden has always given Russia whatever they want. But then there's also the argument people are saying, like, why do we even need to be involved anyway? There's also that take. I I don't know. Like the quartering was bringing up, we did. I forget what it's called, but some kind of agreement we had between us, Russia, and Ukraine, and one other state country, saying if Ukraine got rid of all their nuclear power, that we would, they did it in. So we would protect them with guarantees that we would protect them. So I do see Quartering's point where he's like, aren't we kind of obligated to help them in some sort of way? But then you got people saying we should probably just stay out of it. I don't know. Like,
yeah, see, there's always like this like three like triumvirate of opinions when it comes to an issue like this. Like when it comes to war in general, like it happened with the last one that we were involved in, the last big one, like the Iraqi war and all that.
yeah,
There was the opinion of, yeah, we got to go get them fuckers, right? We got to go get them. And then there was people like, no, man, war's bad. And like there isn't weapons of mass destruction, man. And not to classify everyone who's anti-war as like a hippie. That's what I'm trying to go at. And then the third prong is always the, man, we're gonna make a lot of fucking money off of this.
Yeah.
That's how it always is. And so there's always the people that are for, against, and man, we're gonna make a lot of money. But in this case, it's really weird that all of a sudden there's like this fourth like wing where it's like, why do we care?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
We have enough problems here.
It's only started coming up like, and it's normally a right wing opinion too. It's never really a left wing opinion.
A little more like libertarian and stuff, Libertarian kind of
like,
stay out of
it. Why do we even? And I think it sprung up because Trump was like, yeah, why do we even care about these nations that don't even know how to use the toilet properly?
Shithole countries.
These shithole countries. Why do we care? And although he said it very harsh and whatever, it did trigger a lot of people who were like, yeah, why do we care? Like, no other Western, power out there. Freaking France doesn't give a shit. Spain doesn't give a shit. Portugal definitely doesn't give a shit because they're just the little shit stain that Spain doesn't want. Any of the Nordic countries, they don't give a damn.
Mm-hmm.
Britain, they pretend they give a damn because they're like, oh, we were a superpower once.
Yeah.
And cheerio, tea and crumpets with the queen. Like, they don't give a damn.
Yeah.
And it's like, now everybody's like, well, America, you got to give a damn. You have all the fucking nukes and, super carriers.
Yeah, America, you do
you have to care. Go police the world.
I think that's where the argument comes from. Is it's always America footing the bill. It's always America paying for everything. You know what I mean?
And so that's where like this fourth thing came from, and it almost ties in with the hippies. It's really weird. The hippies kind of like, well, we don't want war because all war is bad, man. It's like, well, that's also just not true.
Yeah.
But the fourth opinion of why do we care is it's really just from a more like, it's almost in line with the people like, yeah, we're gonna make a lot of fucking money, except they're all in the lines of, why don't we just stay out of it so that we just save money?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, why don't we just stay out of this so we save money? And it's like this weird fourth opinion that kind of had popped up in recent years.
Yeah.
That didn't exist before. Because think about it, that's how it was in Vietnam. Like, all the way back in Vietnam, there was the hippies that were super against it. There were, the war hawk, like conservative, like, yeah, you just got to fight for your country because that's just what we do. And then there was the third party that was like, we're going to make a lot of fucking money off of this war.
Yeah. Yeah. I think
proxy wars are profitable.
Yep.
That's what they found out. They found out proxy wars are profitable.
Yeah.
And then as Trump's, kind of philosophy of stay out of it brought up, and then now we have this fourth opinion where it's like, yeah, why don't we just like stay out of this bullshit? Like, I don't know why we have to care.
Yeah, and that really stemmed from Trump with this, pushing America first, saying, why is it always America, running around, footing the bill, getting into these wars. And that's why a lot of generals didn't like Trump, because he had 4 years of peace, which, they always said Trump's going to start World War III. That was like their biggest argument. He's going to start World War III. He's going to launch nukes all over the place,
And it was never going to, and I always laugh at that too. It's like, oh yeah, America's going to start war. When the fuck have we ever gotten even close to starting a third world war?
Yeah.
Never. It's
Yeah.
like people said that about Iraq. Nobody gives a fuck about Iraq. I hate to tell you this. Nobody cares about Iraq.
Yep.
Even the Iraqis don't care about Iraq enough. Like they
Yeah.
really don't.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it just it really just stemmed from I do share kind of that opinion. Like, you know, it's like you see what's going on and it is heartbreaking. Like, you've seen some of the videos today, like just
Oh yeah.
some of the like people
It's
just,
like a freaking IV drip today.
yeah, it's like freaking you know, people with just like their cell phones like filming out their door and missiles are going by, like,
Yeah,
like
like,
everyday people.
boom.
Yeah, they
And then
some
they have the ones where it's the buses that are taking them to the safe zone, and like the men who are staying behind are like, you know, kissing their wives and sons and daughters goodbye.
yeah.
Like, hey, I gotta go pick up this AK and fucking shoot it at a Russian tank.
Yeah, it's insane. Yeah, and they're speaking of that, there's sorry, let me break it up. Asking Ukrainian males ages 18 to 60 banned from leaving the country. So in particular, male citizens of Ukraine aged 18 to 60 are prohibited from leaving the country. Such a rule will apply for the period of martial law. We ask citizens to take this information into account. The news comes after Ukrainian government begins actively supplying firearms to any citizen who wanted to fight Russian troops. I find that interesting that they say you have to stay, but also only if you want to fight. You know, you can. You don't have to.
I wish more governments would give out guns to people.
Yeah, they're I was
I wish
watching
our government, but not obviously. This is like a war scenario,
Yeah.
and they're just like, dude, we just anyone take this gun.
Yeah, here you go.
The enemies over there, shoot them.
Yeah.
So this is a desperation, you know, plea.
Yeah, just asking anyone.
It would be kind of sweet if like America was just like, hey, you know what? Here's a gun. If anyone invades us, you have this gun now.
But see, the funny thing is, that's how a lot of anti-gun people think that how easy it is to get a gun. Like, you just kind of walk up and just take it.
Yeah, you just walk up and Papa government's like, hey, here you go. You need this. You need this M4 or whatever the hell they say we get when we don't even get that.
Yeah, AR-15, like, weapons of war. You know,
well,
fire
no,
weapon.
That's what I mean. So they think we're getting like what the freaking combat troops are getting. Like, oh yeah, you just get an M4 when you turn 16. It's that easy.
And they're like, we need common sense background control, background checks. I'm like, why are they always saying we need common sense gun control? It's like, what does that mean? We have gun control. There's background checks. You can't just walk up and buy one. You need your ID. They're going to look into your history and see if you're.
Yeah, we don't have a President Zelensky giving out AKs and saying, go fight the Russians.
Speaking of that, I was watching Newsmax today at work, and the news anchor there, some British girl, or she's Australian, I can't remember. She talks like this, and she was saying after the break, she was like, they actually asked me just now if I wanted to go grab a gun, but she's like, I told them I don't know how to use it. So I'm like, man, they're really asking anyone.
I would have still taken the gun. Yeah. I wouldn't have said no. Hey, you want a gun? Okay, give it here.
I say, like,
get to take it with me.
Can I keep it after this if we live? You know,
this is so. We should not be joking about this, but
yeah, that's not funny.
Even do what else can you even do though? Because like we knew that it was coming to this. Like we knew it was coming. Yeah. And then like I see people just posting memes about it. It's like, oh my god, I can't believe we're at this state in our history. Like in our society and our culture where it's just like fucking shit's popping off, hitting the fan, and we have people on like all these like subreddits and places on the internet just like, this meme's funny, let's post this about this shit.
I saw some
like,
pretty dark ones today. But.
Well, there's one where it's like, taking a snapshot of Google Maps before they update it, and it's a picture of Ukraine and Taiwan, and it's like, oh god.
So you gotta have a sense of humor for that. So I like dark humor, so I'm gonna think that stuff's funny, even though it's it's like
I'm also I'm a free speech purist, so I think any free speech, any joke, whatever, it's pretty much live. Like,
yeah, Unless you're inciting
there's
violence. You always gotta
there's
say
a
no.
lot for me that takes me, like, if I can sit there and like take jokes about, you know, being a ginger and stuff, and I am super against like pedophilia and all that other stuff. But if someone makes a joke about it, yeah, I'll be like,
Yeah.
let's not talk about like the choir boys getting touched and stuff.
Yeah.
But I mean, you know what?
Yeah.
The thing is, though, you also got to look at it this way: like the jokes are making light of something that it's a serious topic.
Yeah.
And it's an easy way to talk about and bring light to that topic.
Yeah.
So like when someone makes a joke about choir boys getting touched by the priest and stuff, yeah, it's dark and you're like, you feel bad for the choir boys, but it also brings to light a topic that is pretty hard for the general public to talk about, and that is, pedophiles in the freaking Catholic Church.
Well, it's kind of
Maybe we
like
should talk about it.
that was how like Milo got in trouble with everything. Like pretty much when he got canceled, it was he was molested as a kid, and he always said an easy way for me to deal with that was I made jokes about it. And he's like, it's dark humor, but it's like it's kind of how I dealt with it.
Right.
And so he made a joke about it, and that's kind of how he got canceled.
Right. And
But,
that's what I think is happening here is I think our generation, or the generation that's making these memes, has recognized that this is serious, but there is absolutely nothing we can do about it.
Yeah.
Because like Putin had been gearing up for this for how long?
Yeah.
Putin has been eyeing Ukraine forever and a day.
Yeah. He just,
it's just something that when you learn about like the history of the world, they've been eyeing Ukraine forever and a day, ever since they lost it back in the freaking Soviet days.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That was what was that? 8 with Georgia. Then 2014, I believe, with Crimea. I mean, they've been working their way around. They just decided to not do anything while Trump was president.
And the thing is, though, that also brings up like we've just been feeding them. Like
Yeah.
you've fed this monster. Like, yeah, they're not this great superpower anymore. Their economy is in the pits. It's terrible. That's why they needed that pipeline.
Yeah.
Like they really needed that pipeline. And so like when Biden just gave it to them, carte blanche, no freaking, like, hey, you have to do this or that if you want this pipeline or whatever.
Hey, can we have it? Yeah, sure.
It just fueled them. Now they have plenty of oil for all those tanks rolling in. Biden pretty much supplied them the oil and fuel for them to roll into Ukraine.
Yeah.
He was just like, you can build the pipeline up. And then he like sat down and was about ready to fall back asleep after he said yes to it. And then he's like, I wonder why they need all this oil.
Yeah.
It's like 2 hours later, like tanks rolling into freaking Ukraine.
Yeah, and for people who don't know, the pipeline linking Russia to Germany without going through Ukraine serves as the Kremlin's interest. And CEO Mathis Warnig, I gotta be careful of that.
Warnig
is a Vladimir Putin crony. The Germans wanted it, blah blah blah. Pretty much, they wanted a way to, they wanted a pipeline. Just Biden cancels ours, destroying tens of thousands of jobs, and making gas more expensive and all that. And but he okays it for Russia, which the Nord Stream 2 pipeline Trump had sanctions on. And one of the first things Biden did when he got into office was lift it. That's why I'm just like, where's the evidence of Trump being besties with Russia?
Yeah, there is none. There is none. And you know what? I'm going to go on a rant about this because this pisses me off. This is what pisses me off so much about these freaking like, we got to lift the pipeline here and there, but we're going to let this country over there make this pipeline.
Yeah.
It's always about like, well, it's bad for the environment and stuff like that. Fuck you. No, it's not. You know what? I found out the other day. These oil rigs and stuff that are like way far out on the coast and they like fucking have to dig and they're like, they dig so whatever. Did you know that most of them dig at a fucking angle?
Mm-mm.
And you know why they dig at an angle?
It's
because the sanctions and stuff that they have on these oil rigs and stuff for drilling, because they don't want them too close to the coast because that's bad for the environment. So they have to go way out further. And by being way out further into the ocean, the oil that is actually, closer towards shore, they can still drill to it because, it's further down and all that. They just have to drill at an angle. So there's actually more chance of them fucking up and having an oil spill.
Oh my god.
So
Actually,
stupid.
did not know that. Yeah.
It's just the dumbest thing ever. It doesn't make any sense. And it's the same thing with this freaking pipeline issue. They're like, oh, it's going to be so bad and whatever for the environment. I hate to tell you this, like when
And it's worse.
Yeah, when the movie Jurassic Park quotes "Life finds a way," let me tell you something. It fucking finds a way. All right, We're like, oh, it's gonna ruin fucking the caribou or something like that. I don't fucking. It's gonna like kill off the fucking musquat.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's an animal. It is now.
Yeah, I'm gonna look
Fucking musquats.
We're gonna make it. We're gonna copyright that.
But like this pipeline, there's been so many documentations of just like the caribou, just like they go up to it. They're like, oh, it's a fucking pipe, and they go around it.
Yeah.
Like they're able to interact with it. They find a way. And this pipeline, it was not doing diddly shit to the environment that it was. In fact, if they would have finished this pipeline, it would have been better off for us anyways. Because guess what? Now we have to get our oil from overseas, which means it has to be fucking shipped to us, which means there's more chance for it to spill into the ocean and fuck up shit anyways.
Yeah, that's what they're saying.
Rather than just having a pipeline that's on our fucking soil that we can just monitor 24/7.
Yeah, they said if you're worried about,
we gotta save the fucking musquats in wherever the fuck where
that's
it's like
just
open dead land.
Yeah, and it's doing more damage. Like I was reading about that, how they said actually transporting it now without the pipeline is actually there's much more oil spills than there was if we had the pipeline in the first place.
There always was.
But it's just one of those trivial things where it's it's a feel good thing. That actually does a good thing. It's just to appease the environmentalists. To appease the crazy left side of it. Like guys, look, I stopped that pipeline. How about that? Just try to keep
come give me votes. Give me the votes.
So it's all that trivial.
And then I'm going to smoke a cigar with an oil baron later over in fucking Dubai.
Well, I fly my private jet all around and
fucking bullshit.
And
this stuff pisses me off.
Yeah,
I get fucking riled up.
Yeah, and I was trying to find the article. I'm totally drawing a blank, but they were saying the CBS. Oh, here it is. CBS News ripped for blaming inflation and other economy issues on Ukraine. Crisis. Yeah, so
the thing that just happened. Okay, guys. Inflation. The Ukraine thing totally stems from that. Isn't from the fact that we totally shut down businesses for a full fucking.
Yeah. So we shut down businesses. We destroy the pipeline. We just make it so much more difficult to transport things and for people to work and have a job. That didn't do anything though. It was Ukraine. They screwed it up, man. And Russia. Yeah, but see the thing is they have an election coming up. So and things aren't looking good. I mean, everything's a disaster. We had, inflation's going crazy, gas prices are crazy. Nobody's working. I don't know how they're talking about these job numbers when nobody's working. I've never seen more help wanted signs in my life. Even see people posting stuff like their local grocery store, restaurants, people like begging. I see it myself when I go to work. People begging people to work. Like there's people like giving $500-$600 bonuses, sometimes more than that.
Yeah, and you know what? We've also, but this is also the left's agenda. I hate to use the word agenda. Like, some people are like, oh, it's the agenda. Like, you have some of the people that are on the more far right that do this, and that's where like the left points out, like, they're saying agenda, and they're just hot topic talking points. And
talking points.
The thing is, though, like, I hate to say this, but sometimes people have fucking agendas, and this has always been a Democratic agenda. You can go back to, I forget what they called them, the something cities in Detroit and stuff like that. But those cities were made so that they could have a base of voters that would constantly vote for them because daddy government was going to constantly give them paychecks to take care of them. Meanwhile, they completely destroyed the black families in those neighborhoods because they said, oh, you don't need to be married and all that. If you're separated, we'll actually give you more money.
Encouraging welfare.
And
encouraging single motherhood.
Yeah, they encouraged all this crap and stuff like that so that they could have a voter base. And unfortunately, the black community was freaking sucker punched with this one. And they were like, yeah, just come on. We're totally not going to, in 10 years, completely destroy the economies in these cities. And, now this, entire project that we have is just going to be a bunch of crack houses,
Yeah.
all the way down the block with needles just being strewn about the streets.
Oh, yeah.
Don't worry. That's not going to happen.
Not to mention
that's all.
rise in crime, all that.
Yeah, that's always been their thing, is because they want to be the ones that fix things, and they have control. They just want control, and that's always been their agenda. And the best way to get control is to get people lazy and lackadaisical and do things that are bad for them, and then tell them it's not their fault.
Yeah.
And that's what we've been doing. Well, what the government has been doing for this past year is like, oh, well, everything's COVID's fault. It's not your fault. It's okay that you're lazy and not going out and getting a job and stuff like that. It's not you.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
COVID became the main excuse for everything.
And let me tell you something. I recently lost my job. I told you about it.
Yeah, told me that. Yeah.
And got canned for some stupid basically what it drummed up to is they didn't want to pay me profit sharing. Let's just be honest about it. Yeah, it was just like I pissed off the manager at one point because I questioned his motives on certain things. I was just like, argued about stuff, and then he had his eye on me. And then at one point in time, like I did like a prank or something like that, and I had forgotten about it, but he had gotten wind of it and found out about this thing, and then used it as like, you can't do this because this breaks our code of ethics and blah blah blah. And panned me for
Can
it.
Appreciate a good prank. Come on.
Yeah, it was a good prank. And I was like, wait a minute, this happened 2 months ago. Like, can you use this against me? But I guess he can. It's neither here nor there. It doesn't matter. Because what I found out, though, is that the job market is fucking phenomenal.
Yeah.
I was fired and found a job within a week.
That's crazy.
And the best part is it's a better paying job. And
That's awesome.
To be honest, it also is one of those jobs where there's more, like, you can move up in the world better.
Right.
Because like it's for an energy company that does like HVAC and stuff like that. Okay. And right now all I'm going to be doing is just like delivering units to job sites and stuff like that. Basically, all I got to do is, watch my P's and Q's and, get shit to job sites on time. And they're just going to be like, oh, we can bump you up then to an install help or whatever, which is another pay raise. And then, oh, maybe if you want to get your CDL or whatever, because they have like a propane and oil side to it, you get your CDL, you can go get this and get this pay raise. And those jobs pay a shit ton. It's just the fact that, our society is like, oh, you don't want to be an HVAC technician. Those are the peasants' jobs.
Yeah, can't do that.
Yeah, except for the fact that those peasants are starting to pay at like $28 an hour. Like,
I wonder where that started coming.
And that's really your starting pay.
Yeah, that's like a newer generation thing. Cause you hear that a lot of like, oh, like the attitude of I'm too good for that job. Like, right. I'm not going to do that. The plumbers, the mechanics, the truckers, the people that actually make this, country work and move and all that. They're they should be the most respected jobs, but they're not. I saw such a weird attitude to take nowadays with kids. That's how I'm not going to mention his name, but a good friend of mine was kind of like that. Like, I'm not going to get a job like that. I'm going to wait until I get my dream job. And there was years of him not working.
Your dream job is bullshit too. It's it's like, oh, I want to be a whatever. It's like, yeah, well, I hate to tell you this, not everybody can be, those 1%er jobs. You know what I mean? Not everybody can be the doctor.
Well, it was a rich kid, so it's like he can afford not to work till there. But
until something opens up and his daddy's finally like, you know what, you're not making any fucking money, so do you just want this position in my company?
Yeah.
like you need to do something, be productive at least. You can't just bum out in my house and invite girls over all the time.
Yeah. Working builds character. That's why we have a lot of retarded people on TikTok and stuff, because they never worked a day in their life. They grew up
and they
at a young age making
they think that work is basically what we're doing right now. It's like, oh, well, yeah, I just have to be a icon of some sort, and then I'll make
it on YouTube. I'll make it on Twitch.
It's like, no, the people that make it on YouTube and Twitch actually fucking work hard for the most part.
Yeah.
Like, those are the people that make it. Like, people, like, bash on PewDiePie, but the thing is, so the dude is constantly working and trying to do stuff.
Yeah.
People bash on, like Crowder and stuff like that, but he worked to get what he had.
Yeah.
And they don't realize that, like, they just used YouTube as a medium. Their work ethic was still there.
Yeah.
They didn't just like magic into the position, because if you notice it too, the ones that stick and do well on YouTube are the ones with work ethic. The ones that are just viral videos, you never hear of them again.
Yeah.
What does the chocolate rain guy do?
Yeah, I actually think
Nothing.
he has some kind of political bullshit, but
He might, but nobody knows it.
Yeah.
I didn't know it. If he has it, he has it. Cool.
Yeah. Well, it's just like
he's not going viral every day anymore.
Yeah.
Like, viral videos are not, like, they can help you if you're good.
Yeah.
Like, the reason why
work.
Tim Pool is whatever is because he had the viral video with Joe Rogan, where like he was taking on the former CEO of Twitter.
Well, see, even before that though, like he's worked at, like, worked with a news organization, like it's something he's done.
Oh yeah, and he was on Occupy. What I shouldn't just say he blew up because of
that
Joe
definitely
Rogan.
jumped him up for sure. But
that's what put him into the spotlight. Like,
yeah,
as
but
much
I mean,
as
like,
he likes to say like, oh yeah, well I did Occupy Wall Street before that. Okay, buddy, listen, it was Joe Rogan, and you fucking know it.
Yeah.
like that's the reason I knew about him, is because I was like, who's this dude on Joe Rogan that just like completely destroyed the Twitter CEOs?
Yeah.
Like, who is this guy?
Yeah, I was thinking like more like just the mentality of like the all these stupid apps like TikTok and stuff. Like, it's like that's where their mindset is. They want to make it big on there, and even the people that do make it big, it's like it creates a shitty generation because they got rich and famous off of being a retard on TikTok or Twitch or something like that. So they don't really like. That's what I was saying. Like, working builds character. Like, I've never been rich my whole life. I'd work 6 days a week, and I still have hardly any money at the end of the week. But it's
right.
Like, it's like that's the way I was taught responsibility. My parents were always there to help me, sure, but they were just like, you have to make your own way, you have to work. I just think it's creating a bad generation before we get
well, and that's the thing. Like, going back to what I was saying about the agenda of the Democrats, that's what they want. They want weak people. They want weak, malleable people that they can mold and say, just tell me what to do so I get, tell me what I have to do so I get the stimulus check. You need me to jab my arm a couple more times? I'll do it.
This is like their trial run for socialism, basically, the whole COVID thing. See how long people can sit at home, do absolutely nothing, and then we fund them all the money, And
the thing is, though, like, what is really sad is kind of tying it back to Ukraine. Like, if you notice, like, those Ukrainian people now are fighting for their lives and stuff like that. We can make memes and shit like that because we
have
are
it
so
good.
Goddamn privileged. It's not even funny.
There's American privilege, and that's
like, it's like, I hate to tell you this, but like, if shit hits the fan, like, I'm not gonna go to you TikTokers and stuff to help out. Like, I'm going to the people like you, people like my brother, people like my father, who we're all strapped to the freaking nines, and we can actually defend ourselves should an invasion happen.
Yeah,
but that's I hate to say it, but I would hate to see America be involved in a war right now where we get invaded and stuff.
Yeah.
There's just so many weak people that just like, oh, I surrender, please, please.
Well, that's how you know
tell
have
me
it.
What I need to do.
That's how you know you have it good, when you can make memes and joke around. Like, people just have it too good in America, and that's why we can make memes and laugh at some darker stuff, and not, that's why we complain about stupid bullshit and gender roles and pronouns and environmentalist bullshit, because Americans are generally bored. We have it too good, and it's like they want to do something bigger themselves.
Yeah, we have like 60 fucking pronouns because Russia isn't a threat of invading us every fucking day.
Yeah.
You think the Ukrainians have that fucking, have it that good? No, they're just like, is my country going to exist tomorrow? They don't give a fuck, about like, you didn't use my correct gender.
Yeah.
I am Demonkin.
Yeah, I saw some stupid tweets like from like people, I don't know if it was Lauren Chen, were just screenshotting like really dumb people on Twitter saying like, oh, when we're referring to Ukrainians, make sure you use these pronouns and stuff. And everyone's like, dude, shut the fuck up. Do you think they're really worried about pronouns right now when missiles are hitting
care
their
if they're
house?
being called fucking they them right now? Because they're about to be no they thems over there.
Yeah. You see, they have real problems to worry about.
They are about to be was.
Oh, speaking of
I don't
stupid,
think they care.
Yeah, speaking of stupid tweets, here you go. So we got Chuck Yogurt over here, our favorite.
Yogurt.
Right.
That's a good one.
Right, he's getting ratioed. It's already horrible, the ratio of it. Right wing doesn't love Putin just because he's an authoritarian, tyrannical leader. They love him because he's a white authoritarian leader. Race has become more important. I can't even read it. Than even nationality. They've turned down democracy and now even America in favor of a white war. What the hell is he talking about?
No one has done that.
Yeah, what the hell? Is he saying?
Biden supported him. Like, are you gonna call out Biden?
Oh, here's another. See, look at there. That's what I'm saying. They're all
discuss
much,
but
Putin
very much benefits from
white privilege. I just can't see a scenario where a black or brown man running Russia would be allowed to invade.
It's just the fucking black and brown people in fucking Russia, except for like the three that.
Putin's just Putin just ends up black. Like, oh shit! I know he's black. Nuke that son of a bitch. Nuke him! I thought he was white this whole time.
Somebody help me!
Oh my god! These people aren't real. All right,
what is this?
Here's the last one. Toxic masculinity is going to kill us all, isn't it? And/or capitalism, which is hard to disentangle from toxic. These people aren't real. What is going on?
What is that even? Is this related to fucking Ukraine?
Yeah, they're just they're Lauren Chen posted this, a bunch of screenshots from people being retarded. Oh, here's the last one she posted. This is a goodie. I don't know if I can bring it up full screen because I'm being retarded, guys. Oh. A lot of people in Ukraine crowding together inside. Only 35% of Ukrainians have been vaccinated. Less than 2% have been boosted. The anti-vax COVID deniers are now polluting elections.
No fucking way. This guy cannot be that fucking blind.
I'm saying this. Dude, the vaccine people are a cult. I'm sorry. They're 100% a cult. Like, what? Who
is this guy? I need to find him. I need to find him and figure out why he exists and is allowed.
So it's like I always have to search for them. Like when I see someone do a screenshot on Twitter, because I'm just like, there's no way this is actually real. But most times it turns out to be real. Well, that's another go on. I'll bring that up in a second.
Oh my gosh, his background is a picture of Obama in front of the picture of the first black girl getting integrated.
Oh,
so he's one of those like.
Does he have his pronouns listed?
I don't know. His bio is families first high school grad. Worked for unions, elected Dems, did policy, got rare disease, nearly died 5 times, getting wealthy, riding, gardening, ferrying twins.
That's quite a resume there.
Yep, you got a rare disease. Congrats. Yeah, this guy, he's just all about fucking. This guy. Okay, his other tweet here is in response to the 35% of Ukrainians being vaccinated.
Oh, jeez.
He's like
good.
May top 10K quote tweets. Reaction is moronic. Disease and war each exacerbate the other. About 1/3 of Civil War deaths were disease, 1980 flu, etc. But reaction is also kind of funny since most think Putin is dreamy, and Putin is so freaked about COVID he kept Macron 20 away. I don't know what that means because Twitter doesn't allow you to make complete thoughts.
Yeah, I'm sure there were
get like 5 characters.
Yeah, I don't think a disease with a 99.99% survival rate is going to do it.
That? He's like about 1/3 of Civil War deaths were disease. So that means 2/3 were just people dying. And you want to And you want to know why 1/3 were diseased was because we didn't have fucking any type of healthcare. We're just chopping limbs off of them.
Yeah, this looks bad. Let's chop it off. You know?
This looks bad. Oh fuck, sepsis and all that other stuff. Fucking diseases and shit got it. Yep, he's dead. Oh, he's gone septic. He's dead.
Yeah, I don't think that was the W that he thought it was, but
What a fucking idiot.
well,
About 1/3 of the Civil War deaths were fucking disease. You dumb motherfucker. Anyways.
yeah. So, anyways, yeah. So that's. I mean, I don't. It's bad in Ukraine. It's not good. I don't really know the right approach. I mean, I don't know. Is it going to get worse? I heard that Ukraine took back the airport that they lost earlier. I don't know if you see that video where there's like freaking 20 helicopters going in and
Yeah,
stuff.
they all fucking swarm it.
Yeah, apparently they took it back, and I keep hearing conflicting things. Some people are saying it's getting worse. Some people are saying like, no, Ukraine's got the upper edge now and it's dissipating. I don't know. I guess we'll see.
I think what's gonna happen is eventually either. Well, the UN's not going to get involved.
No.
You want to know why? Because the UN they always come in like after the shit has happened.
Yeah.
Like in Rwanda, they were like, "Oh, we did something." I mean, you came in at the end when like all the the Hutu shit were all slaughtered anyways.
Yeah.
Or was it the Tutsis that were? I forget which one. One of them was slaughtering the other. But they came in at like the tail end of it. Like they didn't do jack shit.
Yeah.
So
no,
UN's not going to do
No.
anything. The only country that can do anything to really stop this is us. As much as people want to hate on America, I hate to tell you this, like you actually want something done. Like America's the only one that can actually do anything.
Yeah.
Like go ask Britain to do something right now. Tell them to send in their fucking troops to do something. Oh, they don't have enough to handle a altercation like this. It looks like it's America's job because you can guarantee that fucking France, Spain, and Germany can pull all their resources. Wouldn't fucking do this.
Yeah, it's always America footing the bill. It's always America, cleaning up the mess. Except when we were under Trump. And speaking of that, this is probably where I want to. That was really loud. Sorry. This is probably where I want to end the Ukraine thing. Just before we move on, with Trump talking about the pipeline deal.
So let's go into a happier topic.
Yeah. Let's play this real quick. Let me try to get up here. That's what she said.
I think it's very sad when Germany makes a massive oil and gas deal with Russia, where you're supposed to be guarding against Russia, and Germany goes out and pays billions and billions of dollars a year to Russia. So we're protecting Germany, we're protecting France, we're protecting all of these countries. And then numerous of the countries go out and make a pipeline deal with Russia where they're paying billions of dollars into the coffers of Russia. So we're supposed to protect you against Russia, but they're paying billions of dollars to Russia, and I think that's very inappropriate. And the former chancellor of Germany is the head of the pipeline company that's supplying the gas. Ultimately, Germany will have almost 70% of their country controlled by Russia with natural gas. So you tell me, is that appropriate? I mean, I've been complaining about this from the time I got in. It should have never been allowed to have happened. But Germany is totally controlled by Russia because they will be getting from 60 to 70% of their energy from Russia and a new pipeline. And you tell me if that's appropriate, because I think it's not. And I think it's a very bad thing for NATO, and I don't think it should have happened. And I think we have to talk to Germany about it. On top of that, Germany is just paying a little bit over 1%, whereas the United States, in actual numbers, is paying 4.2%. A much larger GDP. So I think that's inappropriate also. We're protecting Germany, we're protecting France, we're protecting everybody.
We do actual numbers,
but
don't do that fake shit here.
Now, this has been going on for decades. This has been brought up by other presidents, but other presidents never did anything about it because I don't think they understood it or they just didn't want to get involved. But I have to bring it up because I think it's very unfair to our country. It's very unfair to our taxpayer. And I think that these countries have to step it up, not over a 10-year period. They have to step it up immediately. Germany is a rich country. They talk about they're going to increase it a tiny bit by 2030. Well, they could increase it immediately tomorrow and have no problem. I don't think it's fair to the United States. So we're going to have to do something because we're not going to put up with it. We can't put up with it. And
Yeah, see, that's why.
Why did we vote him out again? Like,
oh, he
like-
said something mean on Twitter, I think. So.
Oh my god, that's something that just like pisses me off. Like, I was never like, forever Trumper, like, I gotta get on his side. But like when he speaks like that, it's like, yeah, I get it. He fucking mumbles on, rambles, and goes billions and billions of dollars.
Actual numbers,
Numbers here.
Yeah, but he knows how to make the deals. He's tough, and
it also makes fucking sense though.
Yeah.
Why are they allowing a pipeline to go to through Germany into Russia, yet we're paying NATO to protect Germany from Russia?
yeah, it's like,
What are you doing?
Yeah, it's like nobody else pieced that together, and Trump went in there, and he's just kind of like, "Why are we doing this? Like, this is dumb." And like he said, other presidents, knew about it. They just nobody wanted to do anything. Yeah,
They were lazy.
and like he said, we're always footing the bill. Why are we always paying the bigger half, and we're getting like nothing back? And,
Right.
That's what I was saying. That's what everyone's like. Oh, this would have been worse under Putin and all. I mean, under Trump.
That's would have been worse than Putin. They were like, yes,
Man,
we take the pipeline and put it right into Russia.
but yeah, he's like, it's like,
I take my enormous balls and put it on your face. You like it.
I was saying, like, right there, that's why shit didn't happen for 4 years. We had peace for 4 years because we had this guy that nobody wanted to mess with, nobody wanted to do anything with. Like, did stuff under George Bush, under Obama. Nobody did anything under Trump. Then he gets out, and boom, they go right in when Biden. I think it's just really. And China's going to be looking at this, thinking, like, what can we do?
Like, shit, it's time to take Taiwan, baby.
Go. They've already said, I was reading an article before we started about their Taiwan was pretty much preparing because they're flying in their airspace, and China's up to something.
They've been doing
right
that constantly. They do their air marches or whatever the fuck.
You're saying like they got awfully close or something this time, or like I don't know if they're making a big stink of it, but
they always get awfully close. That's the thing
Yeah.
about China. Like, China has always been doing this, but the thing is, so unlike Russia, where Russia just does shit because their economy's already in the tanks and they don't care about a fucking sanction. They've been sanctioned since the fucking Soviet era, so they don't give a fuck. The Chinese, however, do tiptoe the line where they're like, "Oh, we're gonna do like small deals and stuff." Because the thing is, though, they don't want to just like take over if it's gonna look bad on them. Because what they're trying to do is they're doing things like the Belt and Road Initiative. They're doing little like buyouts of companies all over the place, and putting fucking Chinese money places, getting fucking dirt on politicians.
Yeah.
Like they're doing it like the fucking. They're using like the what do they call that, the next gen warfare type stuff where it's like, yeah, we're not gonna fucking bomb you, we're just gonna have the threat that we have all this fucking money involved in our military, but what we're actually doing is we're buying up fucking property, we're buying up your fucking politicians, we're buying up your colleges, we're buying up your fucking infrastructure, and then we're gonna make ourselves your infrastructure, so you're reliant on us, and then we can be as shitty as we want because it's like, well, what are you gonna fucking do? Take all your money out of here?
The
Yeah.
WHO
It'd be a shame if we had to tell people that you've been banging fucking fang, and you're I can't believe he's still a senator. Like,
yeah, how's he still on the committees and stuff after doing that? I find that amazing. Even sleeping with the spy, but it's like, all right, he's still going to be part of our committees.
Look,
and all
he
that.
didn't
Security.
know it was a spy, all right? He,
Fang.
he just was banging fang because she felt good.
I was going to say real quick about
She made him feel really big.
this stupid patchy beard.
I felt so tiny on the committee today, but you make me feel so big.
I was gonna say about the because we're talking about Taiwan. I just wanted to show a 40-second video of, I don't know if, I'm sure you saw this by now, but I just want to play for the for people watching. Talking to an official from WHO when she mentions Taiwan. He pretends he doesn't hear her.
This is disturbing.
Yeah, I just saw it when we're talking about it. Here, I'll play it.
considered Taiwan's membership.
Like he obviously did not glitch out.
With the
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear your question.
okay, yeah. Let me repeat the question.
No,
So,
that's okay. Let's move to another one then.
right, because
No,
I'm-
that's
I'm
okay.
actually curious on talking about Taiwan as well, on Taiwan's case.
Oh, we lost him. How did that happen?
We decided to give Dr. Alward another call to follow up.
And I just want to see if you can comment a bit on how Taiwan has done so far in terms of containing the virus.
Well, we've already talked about China.
It's been 15
All right,
days since
let's go here.
Kabul.
All right. But like, isn't
That
so...
is disturbing as fuck. And if people aren't scared about that, that means you'd have no clue how fucking governments and shit work. That just means that you don't understand that they literally were able to basically silence this Taiwanese journalist by just going,
Yeah, you see how like under China's thumb they are, like how afraid, like nobody wants to say anything bad about China. He was willing to play stupid, and when that didn't work, he just ended the call. Like, I'm not saying anything bad about them. It's like so eerie.
man, we can't say anything bad about them because that's where we get our fucking paychecks.
Yeah, it's so creepy. Like just like when you actually like look at like certain, who did it? I think it was Mark Dice did this thing where they go through different Hollywood movies where they actually changed specific stuff in the script,
Right.
because they didn't want to offend
Just
China.
Well, and the thing is, what people don't want to realize is they always say America's so racist and America's so bigoted and stuff like that. Go to fucking China and figure out just how racist
Yeah.
a culture can be.
Yeah.
China is one of the most racist cultures out there.
Oh,
They
absolutely.
openly called that one black athlete that went for basketball, whatever. They told him, they said, "Hey, N-word, get
Oh
out
yeah,
of
I saw
China."
that. Yeah.
Like, we're just gonna ignore that? No, we're gonna make excuses for them. Because like, no, you don't understand. In the Chinese language, when you say or o or something like that, it comes out and it sounds like the N words, but it's actually Niguguh, and it's different.
Yeah, yeah, I know where to see it because they're saying it on Crowder. I'm like, what are they saying? He's like, no, it
So
means yeah. Nah, they were
He's just saying, get out of China. Get out of China, you.
Did you see the Black Panther movie poster where they had to cover his face?
Yeah, because in our poster it had what is his name? He died of cancer.
Chadwick something, right? Or something Chadwick.
Chadwick Boseman or I forget what it is. But anyways, his photo is obviously like front and center, and you see it, and then it has all the side characters. You know how Marvel does posters with like the main character up front. Well, obviously in the whatever thing, like his was covered up and had the mask on. It wouldn't surprise me if the edit of the Chinese thing is just the whole movie has the fucking mask on.
Yeah.
Like, you can't let them know that a black person can be a hero.
Yeah. It's like were you watching Crowder when he was going through the Fight Club movie? Did you see
The
that?
ending of Fight Club. Like, oh my god, it is hilarious.
I thought they edited it. I'm like, Crowder edited this, but he's like, nope. He's like,
Nope,
movie.
China edited this. That's a little fucking like like he went on to become a better person.
Yeah, he went on to become a better
for
person.
the government.
I was like, the Chinese police saved everybody and everything was good, and this is creepy stuff.
It is so. Well, that's just how they fucking indoctrinate their people. That's just how they've always done it.
Yeah.
That's why they can run people over in Tiananmen Square and nobody does anything.
Yeah.
About it.
Yep.
They're like, oh man, we just killed thousands of students today. Oops.
Keep them brainwashed. And
that didn't happen though.
Yeah.
There is no Tiananmen Square, and you better not use our government phones to look it up, because that's one of the words we have listed that you can't use.
Yeah.
If you're an Olympian, that is, because they gave them all phones and stuff that just basically track them.
Yeah, that I still can't believe they went ahead with it with the Olympics. They shouldn't have.
Where China got away with fucking cheating the entire time.
Yeah, there's like some
great Olympics, guys.
I don't usually ever follow the Olympics, but I was hearing some stuff about I don't even know, it was like skiing or something, but it was something like where they blatantly cheated. And
it was on speed skating was one of them. He straight up like cut off the one dude or whatever, and then
and the guy who lost didn't say anything.
That didn't count. That was fine. And then when the dude got ahead of him, they called a foul on him or whatever it is, in a penalty of some sort.
Yeah, that
where
was
it's like, oh, no, he did this to cut him off. It's like, you mean like what he did like 5 minutes ago, like to another competitor?
And the guy that lost, didn't even like. He was just a guy, it was a bad call. Like, I'm not gonna say anything bad about them.
Well, imagine saying something bad about him in China.
Yeah.
You want to risk that? Fuck no, I wouldn't.
You want to be
You can
going
just disappear in China, which
Yeah.
is why you should never have the Olympics in China.
Yeah,
Like,
that tennis star.
what is wrong with our world?
After everything that happened with the Chinese virus, like that's where we decided to have the Winter Olympics.
It's not even that. Fuck that. They have goddamn concentration camps right now. I must say it. All right,
Sex
China
slaves.
has concentration camps.
We just got taken off YouTube.
We got taken off.
Yeah, they do. They got slavery still going on.
Uyghur Muslims are in concentration camps, and nobody wants to say it because, as the one guy on what was it, CNN or whatever, so rightly put, nobody cares about the Uyghurs.
Yeah.
Nobody cares about the Uyghurs.
I mean, like that was a kind of effed up thing to say, but at the same time, it's like,
yeah, you're
he's probably right for a lot of people. Yeah.
Our money's coming from China. We can't give up our Nikes. Come on.
Yeah.
We got little children that have like the little tiny hands that are able to, mess with the little shoestring laces.
They can't actually pay people to make products. They want to make any money. They would lose a lot. And that's why they don't want to make anything here outside of China, because they can just go to China.
Who's gonna glue the soles into our? Who's gonna glue the soles? You need those tiny little baby hands.
Yeah, you need them.
Come on.
It's not funny, but it's like it's just something that nobody wants to talk about.
The thing, though, that's why. That's another reason why I'm super against all. That's also why they're censoring fucking comedians and shit, because comedians are normally the one. They're the jester. All right,
Yeah.
Back in all the way back in the fucking dark ages and shit like that, it was always allowed that the jester was the one person that could make fun of the king, right? Because that was his job, was to call out the stupidity and make jokes and stuff like that. And he was allowed to make the jokes and almost required to, because he was the one that called out the stupidity. And now all our jesters are being silenced because it makes China look bad. We can't have them making fun of China. That's where we get our fucking production, and that's where our medicine comes from. Now that's where this comes from. That's where that comes from. And oops, we got to send another steel plant over there.
Yep. It's all about money. That's really what it all comes down to. I wanted to place one quick thing before we. I know I said that the last time before we moved on to a happier topic, but I just saw. Yeah, I just saw Crowder post this, and it's pretty crazy. Let me bring it up real quick. So, should I just read the headline? A group of Ukrainian border guards are stationed on Snake Island in Black Sea, south of Odessa, when a Russian warship ordered them to surrender under threat of attack. Their response: Russian warship, go F yourself. And they held their ground. All 13 were killed. But there's apparent video of it.
Can you bring it up?
Yeah, I want to try to bring it up real quick. All right. Let's see.
Holy shit. Dude, did you hear what he said though? He's like it's just looping, by the way.
Yeah.
He's like, hey, this is it. Should I just go tell them to go fuck themselves?
Yeah.
This could be it. And then it's just like, yeah, fuck it.
Yeah, I mean,
I'll lose.
That was gonna be it, man. You gotta, like Crowder just said, respect those men who died on their feet. Wow, that is quite a crazy
They were
moment
on
right there.
Snake Island, by the way.
Yes,
fucking Snake Island.
that's wild looking. I've actually seen it. Look at that. But yeah, it's this is happening to them, man. And that's what they were saying earlier. We have it way too good. We can't even imagine being in a situation like this. That's why it's like always hard. It's like I understand that people saying we should completely ignore it. It's not our fight. But then at the same time, it's like we did promise them protection under
Right.
that. I always forget the name of it. The quartering always repeats it. The agreement we had to protect them. So I don't know. I don't know what the best course of action is. We'll probably end up having a million more updates on our next episode. But you know, as we go on with these episodes, we always like to talk about something on a lighter note.
All right, let's move on to the lighter note because this is depressing.
Yeah, it is really depressing.
I can't get a chubby off of this.
So tomorrow, technically tonight at midnight, I'm still debating if
tonight.
I'm gonna stay up late or not. I don't know. But
I'm
tonight,
fucking not. I got work again.
So video games. Me and Adam tend to talk about video games from time again.
Yes, every now and then.
Yeah,
I'm a big fucking nerd.
Yeah, we should honestly just have like a second podcast where it's like all we talk about. You know, I can talk about video games.
Nerd.
Yeah. So Elden Ring, which if you guys know the Dark Souls series, hugely successful. They're making a new game with the help of George R.R. Martin, who is the creator of the Game of Thrones books. Well, I mean, to call it
super known for making incomplete series. So I imagine, I hope this game follows in that vein and is incomplete.
Everyone's already talking.
You get to like 3/4 through the fucking game and it just stops. Like, well, we didn't know how to end it.
You'll get the
George
ending.
R.R. Martin said the dragons are coming. All right.
He said he's taking his time. He's going to write the second part of the game when he's done. All right, just give him time.
You can't rush perfection.
Yeah.
God, he will get to it when he gets to it.
And that was like when COVID happened, all the fans were so worried he was going to die and not finish Game of Thrones. So
that was his time to finish Game of fucking Thrones. What else is he gonna do? You can sit. Your fat ass can just sit at home and write now with no interruptions.
Yeah, I'm like, hey, what is it's? He always like posts stuff like he posted. I guess probably like 2 years ago now, maybe 3, where it's like him in a log cabin. He's like, isolation time. We're gonna get this done. Everyone's like, no, you're not.
Okay, guys, the dragons are, the pizzas are coming.
Yeah,
that's one of my favorite fucking South Park episodes where they're talking to George R.R. Martin about the ending, and he's like, fucking the kid with diabetes is dying because he doesn't have any food.
Oh my god, that's amazing.
He's like, don't worry, the pizzas are coming, guys.
That's amazing. But yeah, he takes a while to write things, but that's why everyone was like freaking out. They're like, okay, so you can't write the 6th book of Game of Thrones, but you can help them out with this video game, writing their lore. I don't even know how much he was involved. They just said he worked on it. I'm assuming he wrote the story with them.
Most likely, yes.
Yeah, the lore. But so Elden Ring,
they promptly kicked him off when it came towards the end, and that he was like, "Now, do we really want it to end this way?"
Yeah.
George, get the fuck out of the building. Get the fuck out of the building.
I think we need at least
this
a part
goddamn
2.
game.
Yeah,
I think we should make a second part.
I kind of
we'll call it Ring of Elden.
Yeah. I've come to terms that we're just not going to see the 6th or 7th book. We don't even have the 6th book yet. We're definitely not going to be seeing the 7th book. We're supposed to be the final one.
The 7th book, he's going to be fucking dead.
Yeah, he's going to be dead. He's not.
I'm sorry. Have you seen that man? He is not healthy enough. China's making a new virus every fucking year.
So they're cooking something us. Yeah,
and it seems these viruses kill off the elderly, so he's not going to.
And COVID's wearing off, so they got to come up with something new. This, you know, it's coming. But
COVID 2, Electric Boogaloo.
COVID. I mean, Elden Ring.
COVID.
It's currently off to a good start.
COVID the game comes out tonight at midnight.
I'm really surprised someone hasn't done that. They made plenty of stupid. I'm guessing they already ended. They made a lot of dumb TV shows of like. The whole thing's on Skype and all that.
Right. They made a COVID movie, by the way. It was called it was like, but it wasn't COVID-19. It was like COVID-22. And like everybody's in lockdown. It's about this dude that's like immune to it or whatever. And he's trying to go find his girlfriend and everybody's in quarantine and everyone's dying.
Yeah, I heard about that.
It's really Yeah, it was a bad movie, but anyway, in poor taste, one would say. But they did make a COVID video game, if you want to call it that.
Oh
It
God.
was well, hear me out here. It wasn't that bad. It was Plague Inc. Right? They felt
I know that.
that during COVID, their game was in poor taste, even though their game came out before COVID. And so they made an update on it where you could play a version of it called The Cure.
Oh God.
And you were in charge of making the vaccine to cure this deadly disease that was
Get to
coming
play as Dr.
after.
Fauci.
You get to play Dr. Fauci, and you gotta wear your mask. Wear 2 masks in the droplets.
All the droplets. Tim Pool does a great job with that for Freedom Dunes.
That's pretty good.
Speaking of Tim Pool, he was talking about this TV show. I gotta try to find it, where he said they ended up canceling it. He says they canceled it because the narrative wasn't looking good, because it was like about this.
Super rich billionaire that makes a vaccine that basically takes away everyone's ability to fucking reproduce.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was like, it sounded so similar to like what's going on now.
Was it called Utopia or something? I forget what it was called.
That might be it. I think
it was Utopia. But
yeah, I gotta look up.
Yeah.
But anyways, that's what I was just thinking of. But
but anyways, Elden Ring.
Yeah. So Elden Ring comes out tonight, midnight, which is a few hours from now. We'll see. I might stream it tomorrow. I haven't streamed in a very long time, but I decided very last minute to pre-order this game. I'm pretty against buying brand new games just because like it's freaking $70 now with like a PS5 and all that. But I had a gift card for Christmas, so I'm just like, you know what, I'm gonna go for it. I haven't bought a brand new game in a while.
You have them video game problems. I have cardboard problems.
With the
Like,
buying cards.
Fucking cards are like, that's nothing. Like you can spend $70 per card sometimes, and you need 4 of them.
Yeah, it gets pretty.
Just imagine if you needed to buy Elden Ring 4 times to get the complete experience.
Oh. I mean, they're making that kind of with Final Fantasy VII remake. Give you like
a
third of the
you know
game
what?
Or whatever, you know?
They took a page out of the fucking the cardboard crack agenda. And we're like yeah, you know what, these fucking nerds, they will pay a fuck ton, because like
top dollar.
You gotta figure, like, so what happens is in the cardboard industry, like Magic, fucking Pokemon, fucking Yu-Gi-Oh, like these fucking people buy boxes and cases at a time. Right, and so like a case of Magic goes from anywhere from like $600 to $800.
Yeah.
Right, and that's I forget how many, like 12 boxes in a case, and they just like open up like these mass amount of cards and try to like make a profit off of them, because sometimes play sets of certain cards, like for instance in this most recent set, one of the cards that's like super expensive is this fucking land that's super OP. And fucking, like a play set of them is gonna run you like, depending on what art you got. If you got like the showcase foil or whatever, like they're like $80-$90 for one of those, for just one. So you want a play set of them, which in certain formats you want more than just one. Like, yeah,
it's an expensive hobby.
It's fucking expensive. So yeah. I'm not saying all video games are following this route, but that's why there was the introduction of loot boxes and
DLC
ways to constantly monetize a video game, because it just wasn't profitable saying, here's this one thing and you buy it. That's why DLCs are a constant thing. Like there's always a fucking DLC, because you got to make money. You got to constantly make money. And that's the best way sometimes, because why sell you the game at $60 one time when I can sell you the game at $60? Well, I can sell you the game at $180 over several installments.
Yeah, I mean, I'm fine with DLC and stuff if it doesn't take away from the game at all.
Well, if it adds to it, like there used to be a time where DLC was like good. You know what I mean? Like back, like I can go back to like Fallout 3 and stuff like that. Like Fallout 3, their DLCs were fun. Like they added to the game. They added like Mothership Zeta was one of my favorite DLCs from the Fallout series. It's so fucking good. It just pisses me off that they didn't have anything like that for Fallout 4. But whatever. I thought they would because they had like a little nod to it where you found like an alien ship, and I was like, oh man, that means they're gonna have like maybe a Mothership Zeta thing, and then it didn't happen. But regardless of that, the DLCs back then were legitimately good because they added something to the game.
Yeah.
Now a lot of these DLCs are just like fucking cosmetic shit that doesn't really do much, and it's like, why am I paying $10 for this? Like even Bethesda is the same fucking company. Like look at fucking Skyrim, for instance. Like they had a couple good DLCs for Skyrim, right?
Yeah.
There's a couple good ones that added to the game, and they expanded it. But then there was like a couple that were just like a fucking, horse armor.
Yeah, horse armor.
Do you remember the horse armor?
Yeah, that was from Oblivion, wasn't it? Way
Or
back
yeah,
then?
maybe that was Oblivion. I don't know.
Because that was like one of the first like
one of-
DLC things that came out, like with the newer generation with Xbox 360. Like, oh, we're gonna have this downloadable content stuff. It's like you can download extra things onto your game. And I'm like, that sounds like a cool concept. And it was like one of the first.
It's like horse armor.
Horse armor. It's like, are you?
But it's funny too. You can actually download. That's where I saw it. You can actually download that armor in fucking Skyrim.
Oh, that's amazing.
Like some modder took it. It was like you can get the horse armor.
That's pretty good.
But anyways,
yeah.
So like DLC used to mean something, but now it kind of fucking doesn't.
Yeah, and EA with Battlefront gave it a really bad taste with the loot boxes.
Oh yeah, you're right. That
was a
I
mess.
forgot. EA has been the fucking cancer of like loot boxes and shit like that. Like,
I mean, that was pay to
overpriced.
win though. It was like the
Yes.
rich kids could be as good as they want, and everyone else sucked. That's what I'm like. If it doesn't affect the game, like Assassin's Creed, for example, I'm playing through those right now, and they have DLC, but it doesn't affect the game. It's like, if you want to pay a little extra to pretty much mine all the materials or get extra levels or something like that, you can. But I'm fine with that because like it doesn't affect the game. I can play it however I want.
Wait, which game is this?
Assassin's Creed.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
Pretty much all the Assassin's Creed now, they have like their store where you can like buy XP buffs or you can buy like really good weapons and stuff like that for the story.
Why would you need XP buffs in fucking
Level up faster.
It's a single player game.
Well, no, they got RPG elements. So if you want to, if you want to pretty much just blast through the game and you don't want to have to farm levels and materials and all that, you can just pay to do it.
What's the point of playing then? You know what I mean?
Some people like that. This YouTuber I watch, he's like, look, I'm getting old. I don't want to waste time getting all these materials and leveling up. I just want to play through. So he's like, if I'm struggling on a mission, I don't mind paying $10 to, get extra 10 levels or something. Some people are like that. They're just like, But I mean, like, see, like if it doesn't affect the overall game, like it's a single player game. Who cares what people do? Like I'm
right.
fine.
I guess I see what you. That's where like. So, because like when I think of a single player game, like as I said, I go back to like Fallout and stuff like that. Like, if you wanted to blast through the game, like you normally just installed a mod that just like blasted you through the game, but it was also fun because it added something to it.
Yeah.
Like it made like everyone fucking ragdoll like crazy or something.
Yeah.
Like that. Like you turn the damage up to 1,000,000. But then at the same time, like you could also get killed because all the damage was turned up.
Yeah.
And so like there was stuff that you could do to breeze through it. Let me say something here. If you want to breeze through a game like that, like a single player game, like just use console commands. You know what I mean? Like, and I realize not all games have console commands.
Yeah.
But I think I think you should just allow that. I think your game should just allow like modding and console commands. We're in this generation where like we have so many talented people that just like make a mod that's so fucking interesting. Like the most fun I've had recently online with like modding and stuff like that actually came from Monster Hunter. The mod community on that is fucking fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
Because they made some of the coolest fucking mods. And that was a multiplayer game too.
Yeah.
Like some of the mods, yes, they did ruin the game, but most people didn't use those mods and whatever. And the best part was if everyone downloaded the same mod or whatever and like went into this fight or whatever that was like a modded dragon of some sort. Like I remember one had it that they had Dodo Gama, which if you're a Monster Hunter fan, you'll know what that is. It was just this big fat. I hate this fucking dude.
I don't know much
Just
about
this
Monster
big
Hunter.
fat fucking dragon, flightless dragon looking motherfucker that drags his big fucking tubby belly lard ass on the ground as he fucking crawls and shit, and then he eats stones and stuff. But they made him into like this hyper powered monster that like when he like eats fucking rocks, he just like spews fucking lightning breath at people, and like it'll be like a fucking explode. Like when his belly gets too big, it fucking explodes into like an atomic blast. And it was like one of the coolest fucking mod fights they've ever done.
Pretty awesome.
That's a DLC. That's just let your community mod.
Yeah, the mod.
That's how
you.
That's how you get replayability in your game.
Yeah.
Just let your community mod.
Yeah. No, I agree with that.
And then every now and then release like what fucking Monster Hunter did. They released Iceborne as their expansion.
Yeah.
And it's just
expansion pack. They're definitely different than a DLC. You know.
Yeah, you're right. But I mean, at the time back when Fallout was out, it was just all called DLC. Yeah, it was an expansion, but it was a DLC. It was a downloadable content. We didn't try to separate it and put all these vague terms.
Yeah,
it was something else. But that's how you get replayability. In all honesty, that's just how you do. You just let fucking people mod your game, and they'll keep coming back to buy the game, and they'll tell more people to buy the game. Why do you think Skyrim is in its like 50th iteration of being able to be bought?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm getting so tired of seeing different versions of that game. Like now we got the collector's edition.
It's just what it is. It's you can mod the game and have fun all over again.
Yeah.
And now I can do it on my Switch.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. But so let's circle back to it sounds like Jen Psaki now to
let's circle back to Elden Ring. Elden Ring is a circle, so we're gonna circle back.
Yeah. Pretty much wrap things up. I just did some impressive stats over Elden Ring. First of all, it is becoming one of the highest reviewed games of all time. Elden Ring has a score of 97, tied with the likes of Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, Grand Theft Auto 5, Metroid Prime, and more. Only 4 games have ever scored 98, and The Legend Ocarina of Time stands alone at 99. Elden Ring is currently...
Even though that game sucked balls, I'm sorry. That's all nostalgia reviews. Fuck you guys.
Yeah, I never beat Ocarina of Time, but I probably never will, to be perfectly honest. But, it's really hard. It's hard for me to get into Zelda games. Yeah.
I'm not a big Zelda fan, so maybe I'm biased. But
I did buy Skyward Sword, but we'll see if I actually play that. Elden Ring is currently tied with Super Mario Odyssey, which is a fantastic game, with the highest rating on the website at 97. I thought you just said Ocarina of Time was the highest. Whatever. Tied with Super Mario Odyssey for highest 97. That's pretty impressive. And they already they released it early on PC. It's been out since 6 on PC for whatever reason. PC's been doing earlier releases now, I guess. But Elden Ring broke the Steam player records for some of its most significant forebears just a minute after it hit the storefront. So as of writing this article, blah, 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 Elden Ring is just over 734,000 players all beginning their journeys, blah, blah, blah. I don't need to read all that. So it's already logged the most players in a Steam game, which is insane. I didn't know it was going to be this big of a game. I mean, it's Dark. It's what do they call it? From Software, their company.
Well, what they didn't write in the article is there would have been about like 40,000 or so more players, but those players were Ukrainian streamers, so they lost some numbers, but they were able to pad it out.
Pad it out. We'll fix those numbers.
We'll fix those numbers. It's really weird too, because at the same time that they lost those 40,000 Ukrainian numbers, like Russia got an additional 40,000 out of nowhere. I don't know how that happened.
That's why
it's like a numbers glitch of some sort.
Yeah, some kind of glitch going on there. We'll figure that out. We'll get on top of that.
We'll circle back to it.
But anyways, I mean
that's an awful joke, but you know what? That's just a fucking.
That's a great joke to end on. But yeah, the reason I even brought Elden Ring up is I might do a stream tomorrow, which is February 25th. I'll post on my Instagram, whatever, if I actually do that. It was kind of just something I I thought, I don't know, maybe I'll stream this game. Maybe this will finally kickstart me going back to Twitch a little bit. But we'll see what happens. I'll let you guys know.
I will not be a part of it because it is a single player game.
Yeah, man. You got to start your own Elden Ring.
Yeah, I gotta start my own. I suck at those games, by the way. Like
I suck too, but yeah.
I'm fucking terrible.
I'll probably quit halfway through, but you know.
Dude, I beat one Dark Souls and I was just like, oh, I beat it. Yeah. And it was such a slog. And I just was like, all right, I did it. And then I remember after I beat it, several years later, it had like a download for free or something like that on one of the next gen consoles. You could get one of the, I think it was Dark Souls 2 or I forget which one it was. It was one of the ones. It was, I think it was 2 because that's the one I beat. And I was just like, oh, yeah, I can replay it. And then as soon as I got into it, you know, with like base gear, nothing else. And like, I had to fight the fucking, was it Dark Souls? Because it's the first one where you have to fight the fat shit, like demon guard or whatever, right off the bat. But as soon as I did that, I was just like, yeah, I don't want to fucking play this game. Like this, I beat the first 2. I was like, yeah, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm fucking done.
Apparently, Elden Ring's supposed to be more accepting to newer players. I don't know if that means they're going to have a. They usually don't have any difficulty, and you just go right into it. But maybe
really?
Yeah, they said they're trying to make it. I forget how they worded it, but just not as hard as the Dark Souls games. Because I think Elden Ring is going to focus more on its narrative too.
It's also open world too.
Yeah, it's open world. Something they wanted to do for a while, and I guess maybe with the newer consoles and all that, they can now. But that's what I heard. Like they're not going to make it as hard as the other ones. So I don't know.
I do like open world games, but if it's the thing that I don't like is so all Dark Souls is just a fucking boss rush in a game. Yeah, it's just a boss
essentially
rush.
What it is. Yeah,
it's like, and there's nothing else really too dark. Like if people try to say there's like a fucking, you know, lore and stuff, to shut the fuck up. No, it is. It's a boss rush. Yeah. That's your lore. There's all these fucking big boy baddie bosses that you have to kill. That's your lore. Yeah. All right.
And I believe this is supposed to be a little more in-your-face story rather than reading pieces of paper off the ground and trying to connect the lore and all that, which some people like. I'm not, you know, a huge fan. It's not like an in-your-face story like Uncharted or something like that. But
right.
But yeah, this one's apparently supposed to be more inviting to newer players. We'll see. I beat Bloodborne, I beat Dark Souls 3, and then I played half of the first one. They're not my favorite just because as I get older, I've gotten less patient with harder games. Like back in the day, I would always it would always be like a thing, bragging rights with me and my friends to like play on the hardest difficulty. You know, I say, oh, I beat it with only using this weapon. Yeah, I beat it using no armor and stuff.
Yeah.
But nowadays, like, I don't care. I'm just like, yeah, I just want to play through it, man. Like, I just give me easy difficulty. I just want to see the story and how it ends. I don't want to like, you know, game rage anymore. Yeah. I just don't. I grew out of the competitiveness, which is crazy. I used to be super competitive with everything, but I'm just like, I just want to get the ending, man. How can I do that without throwing my controller?
Yeah, and the thing is, though, like when I want to play like a game that is a single player game, like I'm doing it to just relax and veg out. Like and like, you know, I want to see like how can I like do crazy wonky stuff in this game? Like, is there a way I can do something to fudge the numbers to kind of break the game? Like what you do in Skyrim sometimes, where you can increase like your restoration skills so that you make like these potions that are fucking astronomically overpowered, so that you can then make an enchantment that's astronomically overpowered, and then like you can just like one shot the final boss with a fucking toothpick.
Yeah,
like just stuff like that. That's fun to me. It's just like, oh yeah, you found a way to break the game, and you never do that with like Dark Souls style games, right? Because the game's always against you.
Yeah, it's very stressed. So, like, you're all sweaty. You know, it's like you got to be into it. You got to be in the zone. You know,
right? And you can't just like chill out to it and just do funny shit.
Yeah, there's no chilling with
that.
So,
like, if the game is constantly, and like I've been reading like, you know, here that like, oh, it has the open world elements, so it has its, you know, it has its like down moments where you're able to just enjoy the world, but it's like, if it's just going to be a boss rush, like I don't want to play it. Like, if all you did was add an open world to your already boss rush inspired game, like why do I want to play it? Like,
yeah, that was like their last game, Sekiro.
oh, Sekiro, yeah.
Sekiro, yeah. I heard it's even harder than the Dark Souls games. I'm just like, see, that's not something I want to play. I don't want to be stressed out and angry, and I don't want to play a game just to get like pissed off. Like, I just don't have patience for that anymore. It's like there's even a lot of games where like if I'm struggling on a boss fight, I feel no shame putting it like on normal or easy if I'm playing on hard, because I'm just like, I just want to see how the game ends. I don't really give a shit saying like, hey, I beat him on the hardest difficulty.
Right.
I used to love it, be like, oh, man, I just beat on the hardest difficulty.
Man, I beat
it.
Like, yeah. Like I remember, we would always like play through Halo on normal or whatever the fuck. And we just get through it, and then we're like, now we got to beat it on legendary.
Yeah.
And now it's like, now I just play through it on fucking normal or whatever. But it's like, yeah, that's good enough.
It's also like a time thing too, because I'm like, all right, well, I work 6 days a week. I'm trying to do this YouTube channel and all that, the podcast. It's like I don't really have like all that much time to game. So when I game, I don't want to waste time failing at a boss fight, in like Dark Souls or something over and over again until I finally I'm like, all right, I just wasted 2 hours doing one thing on a game. It's like,
right.
It's not something I want to do. And there goes my camera.
All right. I think
so. I think that was my camera saying like, all right, let's get this.
All right, let's wrap. Well, we were getting at the end of our points anyways.
We'll put it on Adam's face right now. So
oh, sweet! Now I get to be the center. This is my podcast.
Let's take it over.
I control it.
Well, yeah, I was gonna wrap it up there anyway. We'll
just like Putin taking over Ukraine, I have taken over this.
Yeah, we'll keep you guys updated. We'll maybe do a new episode on the weekend, but it'll probably be Thursday. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, you guys can listen to us on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Breaker, and check
the platforms.
Yeah, all the platforms. Check out our Anchor page. The audio version is usually uploaded immediately. I'll try to upload the video as soon as I can. I did forget last episode. I was very late with it, so I apologize for that. But just know that the audio versions are always uploaded immediately on Spotify, Google Podcasts, all that, and our sources and our social media as well in the description below. And that's really it. Appreciate you guys listening. If you guys are watching on YouTube, make sure you give a good smash on that subscribe button. And we'll see you guys next time.
Yep. We'll see ya.
All right. Peace out, guys.
Peace.